All right. All right, we're missing two, but let's go ahead and start tracking what we get done. How'd you do? All right, so conversations. Sorry. Let's pull it back. Welcome back. Dials, conversations, leads, referrals. All right. John, let go.
I'm gonna skew the program up because I'm on a dialer. So,
Here,
alright, 96 calls.
96 calls. Do you guys well, I'll go for that in a minute. Okay, conversations?
And then 7 conversations.
7 conversations. Do you understand what he says, what he means when he says he's on a dialer? Do you guys know what a dialer is? Okay, so a dialer is like, you're probably on a Mojo 3 line.
Mhm.
So what a dialer is doing is he's uploaded a bunch of numbers in there, and the line is dialing. Like it's literally making phone calls that fast. So that's how I can get 96 calls in, because it's just dialing, right? So then when he hits a person, and there's also a voicemail in case he hits 2 people at the same time, that will leave a dropped voicemail that'll say,
There's one that just says hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello, and then
Oh, that's
makes
what
them
it is,
curious
yeah,
and they
it's-
call me back.
that's right, it's not a voicemail, it's actually a, like, it
Little drop
sounds like
message
you
we
can't
call it.
hear them or something,
That's
yeah.
it.
So the way that works is it makes it so you can dial 96 numbers in an hour, because it's like speed dialing through. So he only has to take the conversations that actually answer. Does that make sense? So versus sitting there, we don't recommend you do that with your Sphere, but that you can do that for cold calling and when you're doing complexes and things like that. So that's what the dialers are. So you pay for the dialers, but it's usually 3 lines, and it's making the dial for you. So that's what that means. So that's how you get 96 dials. Mind you, that's not a Sphere dial. Okay? Just so we know.
And then one person says that, yeah, we were definitely considering selling, but they're uncertain, right? And so I'm gonna take it as a kind of an appointment to follow up with them in the future, now they're in my database.
So let me ask you this.
Indeed,
When they said that,
yeah.
what's your next necessary step?
Where I dropped the ball was I should have asked for an email address, number 1. And
Okay.
I get weak on that because sometimes Mojo already has it.
Okay.
But that's one thing that I could have touched them about.
Okay, so what's the other thing?
Could have explored a little bit more
Okay.
about why they were considering selling just at the very beginning, kind of getting some motivation
Okay.
there. And then maybe isolating why the trepidation.
Okay. What I would recommend, get in the door.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Set the
let me come
appointment.
check out the property so we know what we're,
So we're
and then we
ready.
can meet face to face and I can see what you got there. Because in the meantime, if I do have another buyer show up that doesn't match anything else but would be perfect for you, I would definitely wanna give you that phone call. So now it's, oh yeah, come check out my property. That's what I would recommend. Your next step when someone says they're potentially interested in the future is get in the door.
As I
Okay.
grow into this, my motivation has changed, because I definitely should have that closed for appointment all the time, and right now I'm
Right.
just like, let's talk to some people.
So let's consider what the appointment is, right? So in that sense, the appointment is just walk me in the door. Let me in the door, let me see your place. Hey, great, let's connect. You can meet me face to face, and I'd love to see your property. Because if this is something we're gonna do, assume you're doing it in the future, right? So let's check it out.
Right.
If it's somebody I don't know, that is always my number 1, like let me in the door.
Mhm.
That is where I'm going. I'm going toward, I wanna get through the front door because I wanna meet you. Because if you don't see me, according to you, we have no relationship,
Agreed.
right? The moment I meet you and I walk through the door, we've created some rapport.
Mhm.
And then you can take it to the next step of when you walk through the door, what is that gonna look like? Does that make sense?
It does, I appreciate
Awesome.
that.
So that's what I would
awesome stuff.
definitely say. We're
Yep.
still gonna call that a lead because if somebody's, because you were saying it was because of today.
Yep.
But that's why we're here, right? That's why we're working on it, like what's the next step and what does that look like? So, excellent, thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate the feedback too. no
For
problem.
sure. Marcy, how'd it come?
7 dials, 3
Excellent.
conversations, no leads, no referrals.
7 dials, 3 you didn't dial 96?
I know. I do my best every day to try and compete with John.
That is.
Yeah, you gotta have a dialogue. Okay, excellent. How'd the conversations go?
Long, but good.
Great. Are
Yeah.
these people you haven't talked to in a while?
No,
Okay, those
a
are people you
friend,
talk to all
like,
the time.
yeah, so
Okay,
this week has been all like friends and family.
perfect.
What's
So
up?
that's why it takes so
Yeah, and it does, and it's like,
I have some friends that talk forever.
and the reality is, get used to the conversation of, next time I won't take a half hour of your time, because I'm gonna stay in touch with you every quarter at
Yeah.
least. I'm gonna be a way better friend because I'm a realtor now. Like, make it fun. Does that make sense? Good. Nice job. Well done.
Can I skip?
Can you skip?
Yeah.
Yes, you can skip. Lee, how'd it go?
I made 16 calls,
16 calls.
3 answers.
3 answers? Okay.
And I got a couple callbacks or text back.
Okay.
So I'll follow up later. 2 leads
2 leads.
and 1 referral.
1 referral.
Nice.
Done.
Crushed it.
And did you call the referral?
Did I call their, not yet.
Okay. So did you get their
I
information?
got their information.
Perfect. Again, you always want to be thinking, what's my next step, right? Know your system of what's my next step. So a lot of times with the referrals, what we want to make sure that we do is get the information if we can get the information, right? That makes sense? So, good for you. Well done. Anne Marie, and then we'll go back to Zoom, and then we'll go over there.
7 calls.
7 calls, excellent.
I spoke to 4 people.
4 people, nice. How'd that go?
Good. I have an appointment tomorrow, a commercial appointment tomorrow, and a residential appointment in 2 weeks.
So we got 2 appointments. Excellent. Well done. Did you use your script at all?
I did not,
Just check.
sadly.
Huh?
Sadly.
That's okay.
I wanted
I'm
to.
just checking. All right, let's go to the Zoom call. Did you guys call? Tom, Catherine, fill me in.
Hi, I did not call. I'm still waiting on my license, but
Okay.
I practiced my script a bit more, and I actually sent you a message joking that my 4-year-old might have the script memorized too.
Ah, that's awesome. I love that. So keep in mind, before you're licensed, you can make calls. The call has to be, I'm waiting on my license. I'm just excited that it's coming, and I wanted to share that with you. So that can be the
Okay.
conversation. Yeah. So you just have to let them know you don't have your license yet. Like, make that very clear, because then you're in compliance. But just saying, but I'm waiting for it, so I didn't want to wait to call you and let you know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Tom.
Yeah, I made 3 calls. I'm reaching out to contractors that I worked with, and I didn't use the script because I was asking them about current pricing, for example, like what's it cost to install hardwood and things like that.
Okay.
Just to get the market, because I told them once I get my real estate license, I'll be I'll be working with people they may want to remodel. They'll be the first person I'll call. And so I did say, without thinking, because I don't have my license yet, I said, you had let me know. I said, do you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell? And he said no, but he did say that he said he wanted to start asking around just for fun.
Excellent.
Who's out there? So I said, go for it. Let me know, and I'll once I get my license, we can rock and roll. But
Perfect.
then I started making phone calls, and then a chicken came into my house.
Oh, God.
Ah,
That happened.
nothing to
So-
worry about.
Tom,
Really bad.
I just have to point out, Tom, that there are no chickens in the classroom. Just teasing
Yeah, it
you.
was wild. I live in Kumon and there's chickens everywhere. I have to grow it was a chase to get it out of the house.
See, only in Maui, and that's when you literally, like, after you get the chicken out of the house, you need to go call 10 people and just tell them the story. Just say, I was gonna call you a half hour ago, but I just have to tell you what happened, because this is Maui, right? Having a fun story is awesome. Okay, so 3 dials, was it 3 conversations, Tom?
Yeah, it's through
Okay.
conversation. Well, one of them was
Excellent.
a text conversation, because I know the person's at work.
That's fine.
We're just gonna try and get together.
Yeah,
It was, hey, I just said, hey, I'm working in, I'm working with Keller Williams now, and I'd like to meet up with you and just tell you more about what I'm doing and catch up with you. And
awesome. And touch base with you and see how I can help you too, right? That's
Right.
fantastic. I love that. So 3 conversations, we'll count that as 3, because again, as long as it's interactive, it counts, cause we're building rapport, so that's fantastic. And yes, don't be afraid to say, if you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest, I'm gonna have my license super soon, and I'm only gonna be able to have one person be my very first deal, so if you can help me find that person, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Right? You only get one first time. After that, you're no longer a real estate virgin, sorry.
Right.
It's one of those things that happens. Awesome job, Tom, thank you. All right, Jim, how'd it go?
Well, I only contacted 2 people,
Talk to 2 people?
and I spent most of the time, I'm gonna call back the other person on the way home, but the one person I talked to has a high-end travel business, and everything, it couldn't have been the worst time to actually talk to him about anything, because all of the 100% of cancellation, she has a home in Costa Rica. That's 100% booked, it gives them 6 figures a year income. All the future reservations were canceled. That was how our conversation started.
Oh, that's a rough one.
So
right?
I've known this person for a while, and I'm trying to build him as a source of referrals. So I spent a lot of time talking to him because it was, it was like, I felt like I just couldn't just drop the phone at that point, this-
100%, that's what you needed, you be there for him,
Yeah.
right?
But it was a good call, and, he said, well, I know a lot of realtors, but, it's kind of, he said to me, he said one thing, he says, it's the old squeaky wheel gets the grease. And I thought about that, and I go, wow, yeah, that was good to hear, because, it's important for you to be in their mind when
Top of
they
mind.
run into somebody at the grocery store, oh, yeah, I just talked to so-and-so.
Yes.
So, again, the Ninja book, it talks about being in people's flow. And I took advantage, I took note of that because, only 15% of the people use the same realtor according to national standards, which was surprised me over and over.
Yeah,
So-
so, I think it's something like 75% of sellers would use the same realtor, but they don't remember their name.
Yeah,
Whose fault is that?
yeah.
The other stat I love from that book is that most people take about 13 months to where they're finally hot to go out and buy a home, and then they find a realtor within 3 days.
Yeah.
That's how they do it, right? They take
Yep.
all this time, then boom, when they're on, it's like,
It's
who's gonna
timing.
work with me, right?
Yeah,
And they
exactly,
go the
and-
first one.
Unless they have someone who's been contacting them every quarter, staying in touch, sending them information, to
Right.
keep them posted on whatever's real estate
You
related.
don't need to look.
Yeah, be the resource, right? It's that whole chart thingy mabob. Oh, I'm always throwing things. All right, Daniel, how'd it go?
12 people I called.
12 dials?
Yeah, 12 dials.
Okay, perfect.
6 convos.
6 conversations, how'd they go?
I got 1 potential appointment.
Ooh.
The guy's
Yeah.
he's stuck in Canada right now.
So that's a potential, that's a lead,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause it's,
lead,
okay,
yes.
so let's call it a lead until we set the appointment, yeah? Perfect. Nicely done. Yeah, people are stuck right now. This is really my only complaint I'm gonna share. If we were gonna get stuck somewhere, why couldn't I have been stuck somewhere 4 weeks ago when I was sitting in friggin' Cancun, Mexico? And it was so funny, cause my husband goes to me last night, we're sitting in the kitchen, he goes, at least we're not stuck in Cancun, and he's got the fridge door open, and I turned, I looked at him, and I went, and he shut the door and looks at me and goes, got it. Why am I not stuck in Cancun?
Next best thing, stuck on my.
Right?
I also had to sleep for
Makes
2 weeks or whatever.
Right, exactly, no, all good, so, yeah, we gotta deal with things right now, absolutely.
I have an
Awesome.
appointment this after, or this evening.
You have an appointment this
Yeah.
evening?
Oh, good.
Hey.
Love that, buyer or seller?
It's a buyer.
Nice, do you have a buyer's presentation ready?
No.
You can find a generic one?
Yeah.
Perfect, print that out, make sure you do wants and needs, that's the main thing, because that's the consultation of asking questions, right? Yeah, great, nice job. Are you showing them properties today?
No,
Okay, just
no, I'm just getting the information, I'll think.
perfect, that's fantastic. Anthony, how'd it go?
I got one, and actually kind of, I think a referral, I'm looking for it now.
Okay, so you got one
I
conversation?
made one actual conversation.
All
I sent
right,
out about 30 notes.
30 notes, okay, and.
Does that count? I mean,
Yeah, we'll call it a dial. We're really generous week 1, you guys. Like, we're not like super strict. It'll change a little bit. Like, you'll notice dials won't be discussed next week. It'll just be conversations. So, but you gotta have some wins, right? So, all right. So, tell me about that conversation. How did it go, Anthony? It was a potential referral.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's somebody I know from a past life, who now I keep in very good contact with via LinkedIn.
Okay.
And, I think I'd mentioned to you, I've been sending out notes to everyone introducing, my new business and all of that, and asking, to update contacts. And some of them I've actually done really well with, the people are sending me back, like I mentioned to you this morning, almost like their life profile. Just
Don't you love
asking,
that?
just saying, hey, I'd love to keep in, closer contact, please tell me about yourself, blah, blah. And they sent them back, and, some I get just, thank you very much, doing fine, others I get these long
What does that
letters.
tell you?
That's pretty cool. Well, people want to talk about themselves. I mean, that's kind of how I wrote it, is more
Yes.
just, I have to take a softer approach, this is my way. So it was more just tell me about you, and a couple people sent me their numbers, so those are the ones I called, and the one that I'm in contact with, I think I know somebody, so,
Excellent.
yeah, so we'll see.
There you go. Did they give you that person's contact info?
They're sending it to me right now, that's what I'm looking at.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
the goal,
yeah,
is
so.
to get the contact info like we were talking about, so that's great. All right, Morgan, how'd it go?
I'm still working on that technical issue. So
Okay, did you
I
make
was-
any calls?
Yeah, I was trying to test
Okay.
with a couple people that know me and know what I'm doing already, so I didn't really get much with the script. It's more like explaining, hey, can you check this out?
Okay.
Get back to me, screenshot it, send it back to me so I can see how it looks now, cause
Is it your app now?
it looks like, it looks like it could
Okay.
encourage, but yeah, it's
Okay.
only 2 people, so like,
So
I'm
two
still nervous about
conversations?
dropping it on like someone who I'm actually serious about, contacting.
Okay, so as long as you're in there, it's ready to go.
Okay,
So if you've got it back from one person that you're in there, then we're ready to roll.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Star, how'd it go?
I spoke to 3 people.
Okay.
One is looking to buy elsewhere.
Referral?
So I got, she downloaded my app and she said that she'll let me know. It's in Oregon, she wants to buy in Oregon, but,
Perfect.
so,
Do you know where in Oregon she wants to buy?
not yet. She's looking right now, but she's not
Okay.
sure. Like,
So-
she hasn't gone, so now she has my app,
Okay.
and so I texted her my app.
And
Or
she
shared-
wasn't sure what area of Oregon she wants to be in?
No, her kids go to school out there, but she's not really so sure if she wants to be by the school or, like, they go to Oregon State.
Oh, got it, okay. Got
But, she doesn't know if she wants to be by the school or just have something like out in Oregon to go more periodically.
So I would say follow up until you get clear on what her area is, and then make sure you're the one to connect her.
Mm-hmm.
But you also might want to express to her, as soon as you figure out where you want to be, let me know, because I'm going to connect you with the best agent
And
in
I
that
told her
area.
that.
Perfect.
Yes, I told her.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. There's some great agents in there, Oregon. You're going to be awesome. All right. So that would have been a area referral. So we'll call that a lead, because that's a potential paycheck. We call leads potential paychecks. Yes. What's the referral commission? Anybody know?
I was just about to ask that.
It's negotiable.
What do you?
You negotiate with the agent?
It's a negotiation back and forth.
Do you have you must have some sort of a benchmark that's sort of it's been sort of a.
Yeah, I'm a brat. I offer 25 and ask for 30.
Yeah.
Why not? And I can learn the negotiating skills, because often people are just like, oh yeah, 30, that's fine. And then I get other people who are like, well, I normally want to do 25. Maybe we can meet in the middle. And I'm like, that's the negotiating skills I like. Right? So you just kind of see.
And you tell them it's 25% of what you would get on the transaction, or how is it?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's 25% of the gross commission income.
How
That's
does-
how it works. That's not negotiable. It's 25% on the gross commission income. So they are getting 25% sent to their office. It comes right off the top. No
Oh, wow.
splits in our office, nothing. It goes straight off the top to their office. And if they're on splits, the splits are paid
Right.
over there on
Right.
referrals. Yeah. So, make sense? Cool. Well done, you guys. Okay, so now, how many of you are updating the information in Command? Like going in after you have a conversation with somebody, putting the notes? Good. So you need to be putting the notes when you talk to somebody, right? So whether you have a differentiator in Mojo, you've got to make sure that you've got a note to follow up with that person, right? Like I would,
We're on Brittany, so then I just
Okay.
have to transfer it over there.
Perfect. As long as you got a way to do that. But you've got to have a note of how to follow up, right? So if you've had a conversation with somebody and they are a lead or giving you a referral, there has to be some sort of follow-up. Now you have to figure out what system works for you. So I can go in here and take one of these people and I can add a task, right? So, Aaron, he's my brother. I use him for every example ever. So I'm gonna go in here and add an activity, right? So let's say I called him. I'm gonna say, okay, I called him. Set up on neighborhood nurture. Interested in blah, 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 right? Okay, so I'm gonna then add that so that I have that in my notes. Make sense? So we're gonna keep track of what's happening with him. Let's say he was interested in an area, I'm gonna add him as an opportunity. So I'm gonna create opportunity. Let's say he said to me, he's definitely looking in the next 3 months. So I'm gonna add him as a cultivate, but I'm gonna add him as a hot cultivate because 3 months is pretty immediate, right? Looking at the Wi-Fi. So I wanna make sure that I add him as an opportunity and create that opportunity because I want him to show up in my opportunities when I go to make my phone calls because those are my priority people, right? Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that? Opportunities? When you go into your cultivates, that's your priority people, yes? These are the conversations you wanna make sure that you are having. Okay? We following along? Is that a no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. You guys are like, we're paying attention. Okay, so how many of you guys have, take a look at how many contacts you have. So how many contacts do you have in here? How do you know? Okay, so how many do you guys have in there? You have all your contacts in there? That's just that. So I got 470. What do you guys got in there? Give me some numbers. Take your cons. 18. So you haven't done it for your phone yet?
Not yet.
That's okay. We'll get there. All right. You guys know how many you have in there? Everybody got their number? 3.
164.
164. Daniel, what you got in there?
234.
234. Nice. Anthony, you see your number?
Yeah, but mine's.
Yeah.
I've got 8,339, but that's not real.
Yeah, it was
So,
funny. I was looking at the metrics for the entire office, and they were like, the average is, and I'm like, yeah, but those are all Anthony's.
yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I'm erasing them as
Skew
I
how
go.
did you get all this?
I don't know, Scott Leroy downloaded my contact list, and I'm not sure how it populated, but one person may have 7 slightly different, so almost like if they've ever been on a copy of an email, they're in there separately though, so,
Wow.
yeah, it's
Something happened. It
I'm
wasn't
just
good.
erasing them as I go.
We'll
I'd like to
fix
think
it.
I had 8,000, but I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's close to 1,000, but some of them are people I haven't talked to in years.
If you were like, I have 8,000, we're all on your team now.
It would be awesome.
Give us some people to call, right?
So
We've
it's
got
a nice
great
trend.
database. So what we wanna make sure is that we are actually following up and keeping track of our follow-ups. All right, so we've got 7 minutes, so what I want you all to do, because this is actually a part of your strategy, is I want everyone in the room to write a note card, a handwritten note card, to somebody either that you talk to or that you know, maybe it's somebody who said, hey, Keller Williams, go check them out. And now you're here and you're like, thank you very much for that. If you did not bring a note card, I'm going to give you one. So everyone's writing out a note card today. I'm picking your colors. Go peach. Are you okay with me? You got one? There you go. Write one note to somebody. Like I said, it can be somebody you had a conversation with today. It can be somebody who you just want to say hi to. Purple?
My person won't like pink.
I'll take pink. Perfect.
I like pink. I don't think
Absolutely not. This is your personal communication. No, this is not my business. No. This is personal communication between you and whoever you want to send that to. This is not me. This is your business. Really, according to the Daily 10-4, we want to be writing 10 note cards every day. Because this will set you apart. So take 5 minutes, write your note card. I don't stamps, go buy your own stamps.
Mind your way here.
No, you're not in my way at all.
God, how bad it hurts to write. It's like a workout.
You're gonna get your,
Lighter pressure.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm always a hard, I hold hard.
I gotta be careful not to get going because I'll use up too much.
Exactly. See, well, I keep going.
Either way. So,
all right, finish up your note card. All right, quiz time. How far did you guys get on the purchase contract with Marion, or what did you discuss yesterday?
we imported, we started, filling in buyer 1 and 2,
Perfect.
and I don't think we got beyond the first page. We
Okay.
didn't put any earnest money information or anything.
Okay, so everybody's got a sample property that they're utilizing as their property? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got a property that you pick, you've got the information on that property, and then you're writing a purchase contract on it, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so we're working on the second section of the purchase contract. So we got through, you said we got through. So we got through this part, yes?
Agency as well.
Okay, we got through tax map key, we got through agency as well. Excellent. So we're going into earnest money deposit.
Yeah.
And we're going into, all right, so let's make it our goal today to get definitely through this page. So what I want you guys to do is take this time, grab the property that you chose, that you're writing the offer on, and consider your buyer, right? If you guys are working with an actual buyer and you have somebody with actual numbers, go ahead and fill them in. Did you pull a templated version? Okay, so you did pull a templated version? Did you say no, Anthony?
Well, did we individually? No, I mean,
Yes.
she did it up there, but we didn't.
Oh, so you guys didn't download it on your own?
No.
Okay, for those of you on Zip Forms, go ahead and start a deal. So I want you to do this on your own. So basically what I want you to do is go back to your list, right? You're gonna probably have nothing. I want you to start a new deal. And just call it test, 1, 2, 3. This is just your test deal. You're gonna pick a property that you're gonna be writing the test deal on. Pick something active on the MLS, I don't care. And you can pick a condo or a house depending on what you wanna be focusing on in your business. It doesn't really make a difference to me, as long as you follow whatever you've got all the way through to the end, okay? Do you know how to get on Zip Forms?
Yeah, I'm just having issues here,
Okay,
trying to get logged off from my husband and onto mine.
oh, got it, okay. Is everybody got the Zip Forms up and running? Okay, you're just not logged in yet, you can't get Zip
Yeah,
Forms up
I
and running.
just got my own.
But you're all good, right? Come over here, sit with John, I want you guys to, I want you to follow along as he's doing this.
You're all right.
Just cause anybody who's not yet licensed, so you can't follow along, get next to somebody who is, so that you can watch them pull up the info. Everybody else has a license, remember? And is signed in for MLS? Just not, Tom, I think are the only two, okay, perfect. And Catherine, okay.
So I
So-
think I'm gonna start.
Yeah, so we wanna start, so we hit new. And just decide now, do you wanna do a condo or a house? Alright, and we're gonna do it, for all of you, I want you to do it financed, because we wanna discuss that. So go ahead and just put test 1, 2, 3 into the name. Go ahead and put either residential or condominium, and then I want you to pick your template. So if you're doing with a condominium, then it's PC condo financed. If you're gonna go with, single family, it's PC single family financed, okay?
So I did all that, and this is why.
So you pick your template, and then you hit save. Once you hit save, obviously you need your name in there, whatever name it is. Like I said, just do test 1, 2, 3, so you know it's your class test.
So it still collected everything that I pulled from yesterday, and put the documents out, so. And the co-op for original.
Everybody start that?
That is.
Huh?
Everybody get a test going? And we're in the actual,
Important yesterday was that it just
file
fills
now?
in all that
is everybody with me?
information, more importantly, it fills in who the brokers are, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's why you want the template, because that's gonna make your life way easier. Otherwise, it's all blanks. Okay, anybody not following along yet?
So we
At this point.
identify who the
Okay.
agents, right?
Did you do the new and the
No,
file?
I just opened up to get on Zip Forms here, so.
Got it,
So I'm
okay.
gonna go the rest of it
All right, for those of you that are here, hit documents,
here. No,
and I want you to grab your purchase contract.
I gotta remember.
Since we didn't fill it out ourselves, we'll start on page 1. What I want you guys to do is now go on the MLS and pick a property. You need a property to write the contract on. Just pick something active. I don't think too hard on it, we just need a property that has a TMK and all
I
that
wanna
stuff.
look at 25 million.
Money,
We're gonna go with
so-
something.
Right.
That's the one over.
There's some big.
No, I'm kidding.
Everyone orders.
Central.
You know what's so funny about this? But they sold like hotcakes. You know what's right across the street? A super-
Really?
Really, like trip out. And then they did new construction behind them, so it's like behind the condo, no.
So what I want you guys to do is grab the property you're gonna use.
Residences, though, condos.
I'd recommend you download the listing as a PDF on your computer, so you've got it, right? So go to print the agent version, so you've got it on your desktop, save it to your
It's a
desktop.
mortgage on like.
And then we're gonna fill out page 1 to the best of your ability with what you have, right? Cause this works a
Why are
lot.
we saving it to our desktop?
The listing,
Yeah.
because you're gonna use this same listing as we go through this for the next couple of weeks.
So that's my
Yeah.
culprit.
I
You're gonna be filling out
So the
you're gonna be
reason why
filling
I
out a
wanna
little
do
bit more
is-
every day. And then once we walk you through it, you guys are gonna do it on your own.
You know, I think it's
Jim, did
just-
you get the
it's
file
almost
started?
so
No, I'm
so
still-
there's dupes in there.
I need a little more time to figure this out here. I'm still trying to get onto the new purchase agreement.
Okay, so you need to do a file first before you.
So anyway, so our
Okay,
purchase.
So-
I'm just here, where I'm at zip form.
Oh, you're fine, just hit new,
Oh, new, that's what I was gonna,
So.
okay.
and then you wanna do,
the
there you go,
market saw-
and then you just
So yeah,
put in
so
the
start-
name,
started by
and then
going-
this side, yeah, no, you're, I just do test 1, 2, 3, so you know it's the one you're following while we're in class.
Just getting around to learning how to.
Test
That's
one,
what-
two, three.
Mine's not
Then
loading.
go down here and you wanna select your
Yeah,
template,
go back,
and then
go back to
decide if
the,
you're
there,
going to do
yeah.
a single family.
I don't even have an account.
So if you're gonna do condos, you can find out.
Oh, there you go, yeah, that's, you gotta.
And then just go ahead and
Yeah.
copy
Yeah,
it.
just
Something
something.
100 grand.
And then I don't think I've ever done one. Save.
They
No,
should
you
send
have.
you some,
Higher up.
passwords.
Yeah, just click on that
Oh, and it would be in
file.
there?
Yeah, it's in there.
And you'll have a purchase contract already in there.
Who, through MLS? Or through Scott Lee?
Like on the test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you know, that's a
Yeah.
good question. I can't remember. I think
These are all
it's
yours.
with
Oh,
Scotland.
you're in here. You're already
Oh,
filed.
okay.
So go ahead and go up
Try the
to,
one
Dr.
This money
Scott's.
when we first do the contract.
Yeah, see
And
if
then after
that's
we get through the
it.
inspection,
Okay, hit
they
cancel.
deposit another earnest money on top of it.
Okay.
Could be
So
actually
usually,
you're
I'm
saying,
gonna say, okay, so
login
here,
as-
let's go with 15,000.
Interesting.
MLS?
It might be,
And
yeah,
then
try
an
that.
additional one.
You're in the main. Because you're, oh, there we go. Documents. You were just scrolled up a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll have your purchase contract. You guys finding your properties in the MLS?
No,
Did you download it?
So maybe we talk about that.
so,
So how do you do your earnest money amounts? Cause I was sharing with her, so it's different for me.
Not yet.
Okay. so
Don't do
we
that.
did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Stay in line. Stay in line, John, or I will put you in line.
That's
John likes that. That's the only reason I talk to John that way. Don't be scared. I'm not gonna talk to the rest of you like that. I know what he likes. All right.
so.
Yes, Daniel.
What are we doing?
So I'll
A
follow up.
property, any active
that's
listing that you want to use as your sample property. So is that the property? Okay, so you go to print. So print, and then the print, and then usually you can save that to a PDF to your computer. Yeah, so just print a copy so you guys have it. You can also, if you want, just write down the MLS number. Do you guys know how to do a quick search with an MLS number? So at the very top of Paragon, there's that little thing that says, does it say quick search? Is that the
Power,
actual?
power search.
Power search. You can put an MLS in there, it'll take you right to the property. It's one of the most convenient things ever. So if you don't wanna save it, you can just put the MLS number down on a piece of paper somewhere. If you don't know how to save it to your computer.
So are we just gonna go to the form and put in it? Somehow, yesterday we did something where we had a box that we filled in information and then it populated the form for us.
Right, we're gonna do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, but you want us to
But I want you
just
guys
get the
to
property up
actually
first.
have a contract you're working on with a
Yeah.
property you're working on.
Yeah.
There's much more, you'll learn better if you're actually using a property. So I need you to do a property that's a
So
buyer
that was real
property.
helpful, actually.
Yeah.
And of course, you have that quiet voice, so that's really helpful.
I know, right?
Be quiet.
We're doing a purchase contract, right?
We're doing a purchase contract, correct. A test 1, 2, 3 purchase contract. All right, so find your property, either save the PDF, like if you go to print and just save it to your desktop as a PDF, or you can just go ahead and write down the MLS number. Bottom line is you've got to be able to go back to that property and pull info to fill this purchase contract out. Because notice, what is it gonna ask you for here? right? That's gonna be, TMK is gonna be in the MLS, you're gonna need the property address, it's gonna be in the MLS, yes? No, it's gonna be in the tax
Can we do the
documents.
MLS Connect, or you don't want us to do that right now?
You can do the MLS Connect if you want. Yeah, you can do the MLS, I don't have a problem with the MLS Connect. I'm an old school, I like to put stuff in, just so I know what I'm, you're kind of familiar, I feel like it familiarizes me with the document a little bit, but that's up to you, everybody does it differently. So what she's referring to is, when you go back to the contract, if you go into the summary, you can actually take the MLS number, put it in there, and you can do the MLS Connect. Oh, where is it? How do you? So you can put the MLS number and then search it MLS, and it'll fill in data for you. So that makes your life easy. If you guys wanna do that, go for it. So this is under the summary. So you were under the documents where you were under the purchase contract, this is under the summary. And you can put the MLS number right there. Somebody give me an MLS number.
386183.
386-183.
183.
See what happens.
Is that what it was? 386-183?
The
Yeah.
number thought was
Right,
residential.
so then I search it up,
Now you switch it to
email. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Okay, what's the number again?
386.
Was it 183?
Yes, 183.
Fine. Notice I had to go from HIS to Maui 10. Or Maui 0. Alright, so now I can import the info if I want and it'll fill it out. Do you want to replace existing data with imported data? Yes, I do. Oh, look, now I have an address. So that's pretty convenient. Yes? Now when I go back to the document and I go back to the purchase contract, there's the address. There's the tax map key. So it fills it in for you. You still want a printout of the MLS. Do you know why?
Remarks.
Absolutely. What's included, what's not included, what's in the remarks. Do not write a contract without reading all of the agent remarks and all of the customer remarks. That is the easiest way to look like an idiot in front of another agent, because you'll call them and ask them a question, and they'll be like, it's in the remarks. Like, read the remarks. There's valuable data in there. So yeah, feel free to use that MLS. Now, this is gonna be your principal broker. Most of you should know who your broker in charge. Most of you should know who your broker in charge is, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Your upcountry. I'll have to look it up for you. I'll have to look with you. You're good. You're on the
Who
team.
would ours be in Conopala?
So you're gonna be Derek.
Retired.
Yeah.
Who is ours over here? Keone?
I think Keone does
Okay.
808.
Okay, he does.
Yeah. pretty good. Although I'm not sure how your scenario, well, yeah, it's probably you're gonna have to run through the 808 anyway. So you're gonna put your broker's name on there. Alright, so let's say it's Keone, you put Keone's name on there. Reference date. What's the reference date?
Just a somewhat unimportant date, but one that's close to the contract if at all possible. This is what was shared yesterday.
Okay.
It doesn't,
So, the reference date is generally the date you're gonna have your client sign first month. That's what I would say. Because the reference date is the date that everybody's gonna use for future documents as a reference date and bring it back to here.
Okay, clear that up for me, because I asked that yesterday. Is it a reference date, or is the acceptance date the date that all the timelines back up to here?
The acceptance date is the date all the timelines back up to, but if I do an addendum to the contract or an amendment to the contract, it's gonna go to this reference date. It's always gonna refer to the reference date. There's a
For
spot on
addendum
amendments and
amendments,
addendums
got it.
for reference date, so it's gonna go back
But
to that date.
timelines are all based on acceptance.
Timelines based on acceptance, absolutely, because you cannot have acceptance unless the timeline has a date. Otherwise, it's always gonna be a +15 or a +14 or a plus whatever.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so reference date is usually if you're gonna get a signature today, put today's date on this, right? Pretty easy. Condo name, that's important if it's a condo, right? Put the name of the complex. So you just type it in, condo name, and you type the condo name in. Are we all good so far?
So condo name, and then I don't see the condo number, even though I imported, so I put that in there as well. Or
So
does
yes,
it
if
show
you
somewhere?
imported and it did not show up in the address, you're gonna put the number, the unit number in the address. Now, this is the part about zip forms you should know. So if I go in here and I change something on the property address in here, like if I add a unit number, it should auto-populate on other documents as well. Double check it does, but that's what should happen. Make sense? All right. Any questions about this part? We're all confident? Do you guys have it all filled out?
Oh. My brokerage firm is, oh, I'm sorry.
All good? Okay. Okay. So we wanna make sure you guys get this filled out before Monday, at least page 1, so that you've got yours ready to roll. All right, so that if you have any issues, come to class a little bit early on Monday, ask me before we start, because we want you to stay along the lines of what's happening. All right, so down here, agency disclosure, so we talked about this yesterday, right? So who's representing the property you picked out? Who's the agent? Put their name in there, right? The company. Who's the company, and is their name in there? Now this one already auto-populated from the MLS listing. Are you guys following along? Does that make sense?